let's set the stage here. It is 1 a.m, time to finally record. Devils wrapped up the back half of a back-to-back in Alberta. Locked on Devils After Dark, baby. 10 minutes into my show, this dude passes out, leaves his computer on, leaves the camera recording. I wake up to a dead computer, my StreamYard storage completely bombed, and the New Jersey Devils winning both halves of a back-to-back on the road. Who'd have thunk?
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I forget what I was talking about last night before my brain just kind of hit this.
Approximately 10 hours later.
But here we are. This is Locked On Devils, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network in the world. Devils win 2-1 for the second consecutive game in Alberta against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. With that, the New Jersey Devils all of a sudden have won 4 out of their last 5, are 3 points out of a playoff spot, which is 3rd in the Metropolitan Division. And maybe, just maybe, in the words of Leonardo DiCaprio's character in One Battle After Another, life, man. Life! Could there be life? Well, the Devils, as the game rolled on yesterday, didn't exactly show life, but one guy on the team did, and that was Jake Allen. How about Jake the Snake after the team parks the bus in the third period? And I understand it. You're playing this ridiculously talented Edmonton team. The best player in the world is on the other side of the ice. You played the night before. You're a long way from home. So, is that okay to still get outshot 13-1 in the third period? I wouldn't say so. I thought it was actually a pretty pathetic third period. But they don't ask how, they just ask how many. And the New Jersey Devils did, in fact, hang on despite getting outshot by that margin in the final frame against a rested Oilers team coming off a couple big wins. This was a weird game because we all know that the Sheldon Keefe, Tom Fitzgerald Devils exist to do one thing other than break our hearts, and that is to just turn every game into a rock fight, whether you like it or not. And last night was certainly a rock fight against this high-flying Edmonton Oilers team, even without Leon Draisaitl. It was just a slobber knocker of a game. The Devils ultimately ended up getting outshot 23-17. First 2 periods, I thought the Devils were actually very good. Second period in particular, they outshot Edmonton 10-6. And the only 3 goals in this game were scored in about a 3-minute time frame. All in the second period. And you got the sense that, this could be getting weird and exciting. And no, that's not what happened. I tweeted in all caps, oh my God, this game is getting weird and fun and exciting. It was for 3 minutes. But the focus of this game and what has me excited despite the extremely mediocre final frame was the New Jersey Devils' fourth line. You're excited about the fourth line of this team? This team's fourth line? Damn right I am. Because we saw something from the group of Arseny Gritsyuk, Cody Glass, and Lenni Hameenaho last night that finally represented a cohesive National Hockey League fourth line. Contributed both goals, tilted play whenever they were on the ice, and ultimately were the difference against a good team that has made back-to-back Stanley Cup finals playing against you. That makes me happy. That makes me smile. That makes me feel like maybe, just maybe, things could be turning around. Let's walk through the goals, because there are goals worth celebrating for sure. 5:23 into the second period. Arseny Gritsyuk from Cody Glass, and don't bench me now, Dougie Hamilton. Grits in the slot, a grade A chance, and for once, the Devils do not whiff on it. They take advantage. Gritsyuk slaps it home on the one-timer. 1-0 New Jersey. Matt Savoy ties the game not too long after. It was a great tip off the shot from Jake Wallman. Nothing you can really do there if you're New Jersey or Jake Allen. But how do you respond? Same line again. Brown to Gritsyuk, sets up the 2-on-1. I'm not sure what Darnell Nurse was doing there. I don't know how he's making $9 million per. To the Glass Man, Mr. Glass. They call me Mr. Glass. Cody, his 11th of the year, gives the Devils the lead back, and that was it. That was all the scoring we got. There was a lot to be happy about despite the lack of scoring. The New Jersey Devils killed off 4 penalties against the league's top power play yesterday. A couple stupid decisions. Brendan Dillon flipping the puck over the glass, delay a game. That can't happen. Not against the best power play in the National Hockey League. Penalty kill exemplary yesterday. Jake Allen yesterday. Fan-flippin-tastic. And I know there are some people that sit there and they go, he should be starting every game. No, he absolutely should not be, because we know what Jake Allen is when you start him more than 40 games in a year. And odds are, if the Devils make the playoffs, I don't know if they will, but if they do, Jake Allen is going to be your starter day one. Game number 1 of the postseason. So you need to have this guy on a pitch count. That is why it is so important that Jacob Markstrom is the solution. He needs to turn around. He played well in Calgary, but we need more from Markey than what we have been given. We really do. And when you have Allen on a pitch count, that sets him up for these nights like last night, where he was just fantastic. I really liked what I saw. What else did I see from yesterday that I really liked? Oh, Timo Meier. He was just tenacious in the forecheck. Dougie Hamilton. Now with Luke Hughes presumably out long-term again, I'm sure Dr. Peter Millett in Vail, Colorado is saying, oh no, not again. Every time he sees a Hughes brother walk into his office. I hope it's not surgery. I think he's going to have to get surgery. Just as Luke was starting to turn around too. Thought Simone Nemec had a very good game yesterday. For the first 2 periods, I really liked what the Devils put out. The only difference was that the third period, they just completely fell off. Like, completely. And yet, they found a way to get the job done. And right now, where they are in the standings, you don't need pretty wins. You just need wins. They need to get 6 out of 8 points on this road trip at minimum to keep their season afloat. And so far, they've done just that. Most difficult game on this road trip was last night. They got it done. So what's next? Play Vancouver on Friday. Nicely rested. I know you're still on the road. One of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the National Hockey League. You already lost to them. How did you lose to Vancouver? Oh my God. And then Seattle, who you just beat. I'm starting to like the position this team is in. Maybe just maybe, the Devils are in a position where if they want it, it's there for the taking. And now they might have $9 million of cap space to play with, or burn. That's up to Tom Fitzgerald. We'll see what he wants to do with it. It shouldn't even be his job to do with it, but it is. I'm at a point where I'm intrigued, but I'm also very worried that they're just going to find a way to lose to Vancouver. Like that, would that not be so unbelievably on brand to get everybody's hopes back up and lose to the Canucks, the worst team in the National Hockey League, the Vancouver Canucks? Like, totally would be. But as of right now, for the first time in a while, what is this I'm feeling? Is this hope? Is this slight optimism? Is there still concern? Yeah, Jack does not look like himself at all. He's totally just playing with one hand. Nico and Brat are still having a ton of trouble finishing. The offense still dries up in the third period. The optimism for me is tempered. I'm not completely over the moon excited yet. I can't allow myself to be. But I think there is a situation where potentially you could find a way back into this race. And maybe, just maybe, this team could figure it out. Maybe not, but maybe they could. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, I want to talk about something very different, something that I've kind of pushed off a little bit because of the state of the organization right now, and that is an impending renovation of the Prudential Center. What do I want as somebody who sold tickets for a living to New Jersey Devils games at the Prudential Center? What would I like to see be improved upon in the building? Well, let's find that out after the break. And during that break, we are sponsored by our friends at Indeed. If you've ever hired someone who looks good on paper but wasn't the right fit, you know how important that is. When you want candidates who truly match what you're looking for, trust Indeed sponsored jobs. Hiring Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed sponsored jobs put your post at the top of the page and help you reach the right candidates faster. If I needed to hire someone for this show, I'd go straight to Indeed and be very specific about what I need. Real experience, not just a resume buzzword. Instead of struggling to get your job post seen, Indeed sponsored jobs helps your listing stand out and reach quality candidates faster. Sponsored jobs boost your profile and your post to the people who are the best match for your role, and that makes a real difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. Who'da thunk that? Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all of your boxes with less stress, less time, and more results using Indeed sponsored jobs. Listeners of this show get a $75 sponsored job credit to help give your job the premium placement it deserves at Indeed.com/lockedon. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support the show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. All right. Locked On Devils. My name is Zach Berman. The New Jersey Devils have a $300 million pending renovation of the Prudential Center coming up. And I wanted to focus on it when it was announced, but it didn't feel right given the state of the team and some of the losses they were accruing in that time period. Now feels like a good point in time to sit there and say, you know what? What would I like the Rock to look like? Now, at this point in time, the Prudential Center is coming up on 20 years of age, believe it or not. The Rock has been around for a while. And I always say, and I always believe that the bones of the building are still top notch, even when the food is inedible, even when the seats are falling apart, even when they haven't improved any of the in-arena entertainment or music choices or just the overall experience at the building, even when that has not necessarily been approved upon, it's still been a decent at worst experience because the bones of the place are solid. There is not a bad view. There is not a bad seat in the house. So what can be truly improved? What would I like to see? Would like the upper concourse to be a little bit airier. I think that's a start. More light in the building, more natural light. Make it feel more like the home of the New Jersey Devils. I think that is important. I understand that it's a very heavily used building between concerts and Seton Hall. The Prudential Center needs to feel like the home of the New Jersey Devils first and foremost. They are the premier tenant of the building. So I would like to see some more touches that reflect the team that plays there the most. Little things like putting the high school jerseys back up around the escalator. Improving the food. Make the food represent the state of New Jersey more. I know they try and do the faux, oh, here's the diner. No, like we used to have Javi's Deli in the Rock. Make this building feel homey again to their fans. I think all the seat backs need to be replaced. I don't know if any of them have since the opening of the building. The Jumbotron is great. Still one of the better ones in the league. But I think the technology could be improved upon, maybe with the LED displays around the arena. The lighting this year was touched up, which I think makes a big difference. But after going to Tampa and Florida and Washington and seeing some of the like hype videos that are put out and some of the best in class fan engagements, like we've been playing the same music at the Rock, and I know this isn't a building renovation as much as it is. It's felt the same every year for the last 10 plus years, really, since Harris Blitzer took over the team, since they bought the building. I think there needs to be a more conceited effort into making the experience off the ice feel new and fresh. Like, you don't need to do the generic flashing lights, spooky music before the team takes the ice. I'm not saying change hell's bells, but at the same time, make me as a fan want to run through a brick wall before the team takes the ice. This team has not done that. Do you remember how crazy the intros were in 2012 during that cup run? Remember how cool they were? We haven't had that. I want the hair standing up on the back of my neck when this team takes the ice. We have not had that experience, even if the team isn't good. Give me something more than just the dessert race to look forward to in terms of fan engagement. Maybe have flashing lights in the arena bowl. Maybe, I don't know. At its core, the Prudential Center has the potential to be one of the best buildings in the league because of how it was built, because of the way the seating bowl is constructed. You don't have a bad seat on the ice. Everyone's got a great view. That was my pitch when I was selling tickets, and I still do believe that. That's why I'm not necessarily a guy that's picky about where I sit the Rock, because every seat is a good one. But I think you need to, at the end of the day, make the arena feel more Jersey. Not stereotypical Jersey. I know they had Jersey Shore night. None of the cast of Jersey Shore is actually from New Jersey. They're all from Staten Island. When I was at UBS Arena, I felt like I was on Long Island. When I was at Benchmark International or Amalie or whatever the hell it's called, I felt like I was in Tampa. I want to feel like I'm in the Garden State and I am representing New Jersey's team when I am at the Prudential Center, and I don't feel that way. That's what the renovation needs to focus on. Yes, the building needs a couple fresh coats of paint, fresh tiling in the, in the concourses. Make the food edible. Like, that's a start. Like, let's start there. But I do think it's good news overall in terms of the team staying in Jersey and the building staying fresh. But there are certainly ways where the experience as a whole can be fresh. Apologies if I got a little bit perhaps off a tangent there. Today's episode is brought to you by the lovely folks at FanDuel. Only 4 teams left in the NFL playoff race, and FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action. Because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Open your profit boost pack first thing on game day and see what boosts you want to apply. The boosts let you lean into your game day instincts, whether you're backing momentum, defense, quarterback play, or coaching. The boosts give you more juice on the bets you already like instead of forcing you to bet something new. Every play feels bigger, and the boosts make you feel that way too. You make your picks and apply your profit boost to go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Tomorrow, what are we going to talk about? 2025 in review for this organization. Been a long time coming. I've been teasing it. Finally excited to get that done. Don't believe I'm going to be recording. Actually, Friday's a late game. I'm going to be traveling all day Friday, and I'm actually going to be in New Orleans hopefully by sunset Friday. This winter storm is going to snarl the whole eastern part of the country, and I'm flying right into the teeth of this thing for Senior Bowl, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Follow me on Twitter at Zach Brett Berman if you want my Senior Bowl content. I'm going to be promoting my own YouTube channel. It's going to be completely different. If you like me, if you like my energy, I exist. But tomorrow, 2025 in review, Friday, we'll preview and debrief the Canucks game. They better not lose. This is Locked On Devils. My name is Zach Berman. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, let's go Devils and fire Tom Fitzgerald.